Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right marketing for your salon, posting on social media, running promotions, updating things online, but somehow it still doesn't seem to move the needle? You're not alone. A lot of salon owners feel like they're putting effort into marketing, yet the results feel unpredictable. But what if the real issue isn't what you're doing? It's something far more subtle that most salon owners never even notice. We're about to share a hidden marketing problem that may actually be training your clients to forget you. And once you see it, you'll never look at your marketing the same way again. Welcome to the Salon Scoop, the podcast that helps salon owners and salon professionals grow their business, boost their brand, and stay inspired. From salon marketing and social media to leadership and growth, we uncover the strategies and stories that move the industry forward. If you love learning, growing, and are serious about leveling up your salon business and brand, you've just found your new go-to podcast. Welcome to the Salon Scoop podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Scott Moon, and with me for this digital debrief episode is the one and only Sarah Perrin. Sarah, how are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. We're getting to, talk shop talk a little bit, so I'm in good spirits. How about you?
Always fun to be together and see how we can bring a new digital marketing issue to light for our listeners.
Mhm.
Today, we're going to talk about a challenge that almost every salon owner experiences at some point: the stop and start cycle of marketing. Sarah, have you been guilty of this in the past as a salon owner?
Oh, and that I'm still guilty of it. It's so funny because I feel like every time we do these recordings, even more so than when I'm coming up with, some of the ideas or writing the blogs that go along with it. When you and I start talking about things, I have like so many light bulbs that go off where I'm like, I should be doing this and I need to be doing this. And right now in particular, I'm feeling some salon owner guilt because I feel like I have been inconsistent with our marketing. And no excuse, just I've been busy. We just did a reno, we're opening a new space, all of these different things. And yeah, some things have fallen by the wayside. So I feel like I'm going to learn as much from this and try and, give some of my own insight and, maybe take some of my own advice.
That's what happens. Life gets busy. But if you ask most salon owners whether they're investing in marketing for their business, the answer is usually yes, right? But here's the typical pattern, right? They post on social media when things are slow because they have time. They run a last minute promotion, right, when they have cancellations. They run a gift card sale, but only during the holidays. They update their website at the beginning of the year when motivation is high. And then life gets busy, as you just said, Sarah. Clients need you. You have staff issues. You get sick. Inventory needs to be, counted or ordered. You have a family issue all of a sudden, to deal with. Suddenly, marketing falls off the priority list and becomes something that gets pushed to next week. And then next week turns into, next month. And a lot of time goes by with little or no activity. And then what happens? Well, the bookings slow down, and then the panic marketing starts all over again. Right? We live our life in a reactive way instead of a proactive way. But the reality is this: marketing works on momentum. And when that momentum stops and starts and stops and starts, it doesn't just slow growth, it can actually hurt your visibility, your brand trust, and even your Google rankings. And it actively trains your audience to forget about you. So today we're going to unpack why consistent marketing is the best strategy for your salon or spa and how to do it. So let's delve in with this. And Sarah, as a salon owner, maybe you can start off by sharing kind of what some of the sales and revenue, I guess, challenge could be as a result of inconsistent marketing.
Well, I know even like with our salon, like we do a lot on social media, try and do a lot on our website and everything like that, email marketing, different things like that. And when it is consistent, like when there is the monthly email going out about, promotions and everything. And I will say that we're really good about coming up with promotions and incentives, quarterly. So it's not just a last minute thing, March 2nd hits and it's like, shit, what are we doing this month? It's like that's all in mind, but the the actual putting that information out there, the months in which, and again, this is something I have to take full responsibility for, the months in which I have been on top of it and sent out, the monthly newsletter at the top of the month and had all of my social posts, scheduled and ready to go out at a consistent rate, instead of this like panic marketing, you do notice a difference in your bookings, in your retail sales, in everything like that, right? Like, so I feel like that is something major, is when your marketing is inconsistent. Like if you go back and really run the numbers, and it's difficult sometimes with social media and online because it's hard to, kind of keep track of some of these reporting, like, oh, I posted 3 times in March and this was the payback, versus I posted every single day in April and it was the busiest month ever. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to cross compare those types of things. But if you really sat down and looked at your consistency of like your website updates, your social media, your marketing, like email marketing, everything like that, versus how well you actually did in salon and what your retail sales were like, what your service dollars, your pre-book, everything like that, there absolutely is a correlation with that. So, yeah, I guess that, like you said, like life gets busy, but I think that just coming up with a consistent game plan, of, again, this is what we do every single month, no more, no less, it doesn't set you up for failure in the way that, again, when you're panic marketing, now I need to post every single day and I need to do a full website update and I need to do this and this and this kind of thing. Then all of a sudden your consumer and the person who's looking at it is like almost overwhelmed, and that can be off-putting as well, right? But then if you fall off the face of the earth for a while, they're like, are they even open? Like, do they still sell this product? And they might just hop on over to the next salon that is consistent with it, right? So there absolutely, like I said, if you were able to chart it like that, there absolutely is a correlation between consistency on your marketing and, again, what's shown in your books and your retail sales.
Yeah, it's an issue for sure. I want to talk a little bit about Google, first and foremost, because Google SEO, search engine optimization, is a big one that tends to be looked at in isolation. People are like, oh, I should do, work on my SEO. And they'll do some quick fixes, right? They might get a report. Someone sends them a report and it's like, oh, you know what? I can update this and I can do this and I can do this. Great. Now I'm going to be number one. It doesn't work that way. SEO is a marathon. It is absolutely not a sprint. And all the things that you do, again, hopefully most people understand the concept, right? SEO definitely matters because when you're trying to attract new guests, you want to be showing up when people are searching for terms like, hair salon in my city, best esthetician in my city, laser hair removal in my city, whatever the case may be, the service and the city. You need to be up there. But it's an ongoing thing because the Google algorithm, right, is looking in constant action at every single web page and the traffic and the activity and the updates and the content all the time. So if you go in at the beginning of January and make a few updates based on some report you got, and then you leave it, you might get a small boost initially, but then you're just falling backwards and all that effort is essentially useless. Google rankings are absolutely influenced by ongoing activity. Google wants to show websites, right, that are representing trust and credibility and authority linked to specific keywords. And if your website is dormant, right, you're not adding fresh content, it's a signal to Google, right, that this is not a live, active website that we should be promoting out to the world. A simple way that you can help to do this is through blogs. Blog content is a really great way, at minimum, once a month, to have new content that focuses on keywords. But ultimately, I would say from an SEO standpoint, you just have to face the reality. You, as a salon owner, are not supposed to be an SEO expert who is, managing the SEO for your salon. I say this with complete respect, but I believe that that's something that should be outsourced to experts to work on for you. It does not need to be expensive, depending on where you go. We certainly pride ourselves on offering the most affordable marketing services for the salon industry. But just think about the importance of that. And when it comes to website updates, just making sure that you don't have promotions that are 4 months old still showing up on your website. Sometimes I've seen them like over a year old. That means that nobody has gone in to like look at it. You have staff members that have changed, but you're still there. You have old pricing that's on your website. All those are just providing a negative experience for somebody who's coming to your site, and that has consequences on your business, right? If you're not consistently updating it. So what we try to do, right, for the websites that we manage for our salons, we proactively send out an email on the first of the month to remind you, to say, hey, just quickly, are there any promotions this month that you want featured? Is there any changes to your services, to your pricing, to your staff? We're kind of like throwing you a reminder. What I would recommend that you do, put a reminder in your own calendar. If you're managing, the website yourself, put a reminder in your own calendar, block time, 1 hour a month to just take care of that. And if you block the time in your calendar, you're more likely to get it done. So that's for Google and website. Sarah, you kind of touched upon social media a little bit earlier, but maybe you can talk a little more about inconsistency on social media and how that can have a negative impact and essentially train our clients to forget about us.
If you're like most people, you're scrolling on social every day, right? So if you follow a salon where they're posting every single day and then all of a sudden it's months and there's nothing, or same thing, not even a salon, like a hairstylist or anything like that, you kind of almost get to this point of like again, like, are they doing it? Like there's been times where, again, there's a nail tech that I follow that I absolutely love their art or whatever it might be. And all of a sudden, like, have I not seen any of their stuff in a while? And I'll go and I'm like, oh, it's been months. And not only, again, does this kind of, I don't want to say it leaves a bad taste in clients' mouth, but like almost just kind of a like, oh, what's going on? Like, are they still open or what's going, they might unfollow because they're like, why am I following you if you're not posting anything anymore?
Yeah, but for them to just question, like, are they still open? Are they still in business? Like, that's a major red flag that you do not want people thinking.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And then on top of that, and this is something that I feel like we've discussed more at length, is the algorithm. If you go from posting every single day to not posting at all, e- even though you're, oh, I threw out a post kind of thing, it might not be coming up on the people's, for you pages that you want it to, because you haven't posted in so long. So again, the algorithm definitely favors consistency. So this is something that I talk to a lot of when I'm doing kind of one-on-one coaching with our hairstylists at our places. I'm like, consistency is key. I don't give a shit if you're posting twice a week, once a week, 5 times a week, but keep that consistent. And kind of like you said, Scott, like, set a timeline in place for yourself. So I always say, like, I'm like, again, do some research, see when your demographic is most engaged and everything like that online, and then be like, I'm going to post every Tuesday and Thursday, or I'm going to post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it ends up being, but like set that and stick to it. Because a problem that I see a lot of people in the industry in particular do is they will take one, like, do a content day or something, and then they have a ton of content and they're so excited about it, they did a bunch of cool sets of nails or hair or whatever it is, and then in one day or in a couple days span, they're just spamming things, right? So it's just like all of a sudden, like, this is everything I'm doing, and then it's radio silence for like the next 2 months. I'm like, instead of that, take that content and space it out. Don't get trigger happy with it, right? So this is what I like to do for my salon is I go through, like, we do usually a quarterly content day, and I'll go in with a bunch of ideas. This is what we want to film today. this is what we're going to do. I get all of this content and then I stagger it over the next quarter. So again, some of the video, I try to do kind of evergreen or like funny ones or whatever it might be that aren't necessarily time sensitive, but then I staggered out. So I'm of the idea, especially when it comes to social media, of doing thing in batches, taking, a couple of hours and getting a bunch of stuff together and then scheduling it and set it and forget it. Instead of, again, just doing it all at once and I'm so excited and I'm going to post every single day and because I'm slow this week and blah 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 blah. No, just come up with a schedule, set an hour aside or whatever it might be every month, and just caption it and schedule it, and then don't think about it until your next planned content day. So again, consistency is super key on social media, again, not only because the algorithm favors it, but also because you don't want to spam your clients, you don't want to ghost your clients. So just be consistent and be reliable.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about one other area that is so often becomes inconsistent is salon loyalty programs. And this one touches home a lot. We offer a salon loyalty app, really, really positive results for the salons that implement it consistently. We're talking 15 to 20% retail sales growth on average. The challenge is that most salons get super excited when they first have it, right? And they launch it and they communicate it, they talk about it, they got posters. And for the first month, maybe two, they're talking to other clients about it, they're getting people registered. And then it just goes radio silent. They just stop talking about it. I can't say why. Things get busy. There's other new shiny things that are happening that they want to be talking about, and it all of a sudden stops getting talked about. And you're no longer having the conversation and bringing it up, and talking about the rewards. You're no longer talking about the points. You're no longer creating bonus point opportunities. You're no longer creating messages that go out to people to remind them to go into the app and look for special offers or coupons, whatever the case may be. And then it just becomes a regular old loyalty program like any other store out there. But you have these tools that can be so much better by just incorporating a little bit of structure and consistency to it. And sometimes it can be as easy. There are a lot of things that you can automate, like Sarah, what you were mentioning earlier, set it and forget it. You can schedule messages that are going to go out automatically based on triggers, based on behaviors, so that there is messaging going out to keep people engaged. You definitely need to incorporate as part of your scripting. I mean, you cannot go to any grocery store or any drugstore and get to the cash register without them first asking you if you have their points card or the points app. It's just a standard part of their script, and it takes half of a second for them to say it. That needs to be consistent in every single salon at the same time when they come. Do you have our rewards app? It's simple as that. Just keeps it at least top of mind, and then people are talking about it. Such a big missed opportunity by not talking about these things. And when you have great programs that can do such positive things, whether it's Google, whether it's your social media, whether it's loyalty programs, you're losing so much potential by dropping that consistency. So Sarah, let's close here by talking about how to create some systems, because we know that people have the interest, they know that it's important, but if we just do it on a reaction level as opposed to proactive, it's never going to work. So systems beat motivation. Tell us how we can create better systems to help us achieve all this.
For sure. And it's funny because, again, as you're talking, I'm like, I feel personally attacked by my own topic that I picked today because the reason I've been inconsistent is it always comes down to life gets busy or something else comes up that's priority. And it's not that you don't have the time, it's that you're not making the time. And a big thing is that, again, motivation, she fluctuates, right? Like, I'm like, it's not a consistent thing, but systems don't. So instead, so again, I'm sitting here being like, okay, starting April, I'm doing this and this and this, but I'll just tell our listeners like what my game plan is I'm going to go through every single month and be like, okay, the first Monday of the month, I spend an hour checking out our website, making sure it's all up to date, that the promotions are up to date on it, everything like that. The first Tuesday of the month, I'll take that time and I'll make the social post and get them scheduled, whatever it might be. But I'm going to, instead of just having this to do list, I'm going to start making a time to do list. So having specific days scheduled in where it is, this is what we are working on, because that's a system. So I think that that's the biggest thing. And another thing, like you said, when you're talking about SEO, Scott, is a lot of us didn't get into the salon industry because we love digital marketing and we love tech and everything like that, right? So I think just doing a little bit of a reflection and an audit on what things you think that you can do, and that, not that you can do whatever you set your mind to, but what things maybe aren't your zone of genius, and that maybe aren't your thing, and maybe start delegating that, whether it be to a team member, or maybe you hire somebody at, like, again, Salon S.O.S in particular, like I'm like with the SEO and the loyalty program and all of these different things, like there's all of these really incredible systems and services that you can take advantage of. And if you cost compare, like if you're trying to do DIY a lot of these things because you think it's saving you money, but you're spending 8 times the amount of time trying to get it done when you could be spending that time building your business in some type of other way, I think that that's more than a worthwhile investment. So again, the systems, setting up systems for yourself to stay accountable and making sure that you're staying on track, but then also maybe hiring out and delegating for other different things so that those people can stay on track instead of you having a million things that you're trying to stay on top of. So those are the kinds of systems that I would definitely set in place. And again, some type of accountability for yourself. I think that's a major thing too. We discussed this in another episode about kind of radical accountability with your staff, and having a consequence in place if you don't get XYZ done. So maybe having something like that, and having an accountability buddy, where it's like, okay, if you don't have this done, you have to buy them dinner, or whatever it might be. Like, you can kind of gamify it, but I don't know, I just think having that fire under your butt and having some type of accountability in place with a consequence if you don't have it done could also be a way just to, again, keep yourself in check.
Yeah. We're all human, and we all succumb to some of life's unexpected things, and we fall into different seasons of being good or less good at some of these things, and that's normal. And Sarah, I'm happy to have you on the show today, sharing some of the issues that you deal with as a salon owner, knowing all these things, like what you should do, but it still sometimes comes back at you, and it happens to all of us. All we can try to do is our very best, and put systems in place and try to stay, I guess, as consistent as possible with them. A couple of quick pointers on that. To-do lists are not the solution, because they just sit there, and either you kind of go through it and you pick off like the easiest ones to achieve just so that you can like check something off, or you kind of go down the list and you just do them one by one, but you're not actually assigning a priority and doing the most important ones first. So to-do list is okay as long as you then marry that with a planned time list. So take those to-dos and put it into your calendar, specific dates and times. I block time in my calendar once a week. And what I do is I look at my to-do list and I start planning, and I say, okay, I'm going to do this on Monday at 10 a.m. till 10:30, and it goes into my calendar. I'm going to do this on Monday afternoon from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. It's a bigger thing, working on a presentation, whatever the case may be. And you take those items and you block them into your calendar. You're now making a priority time for them. That's important. The other thing that caught me way back when in my corporate career was my schedule was like slammed. Literally every minute of every day had something in there that I was supposed to do. So it looked great on paper when I arrived at the beginning of the day. But then guess what? Some emergencies happen, and that happens in life. Unexpected things happen to us, and you should be cognizant. We don't know what's going to happen, But we do know that something is going to happen because it always does. So what you can do is you can block time in your schedule to deal with emergencies. This might just be a thing. If you're a salon owner or manager and you constantly have to deal with issues in the salon and it throws you off your day, you might want to block off, how much time you typically, need. Maybe it's a half an hour, maybe it's an hour, I don't know. But you can block it off in your calendar and at least you have time to deal with it. You might not be able to deal with it in the moment because it's 10 a.m. and you're dealing with a client, but you know that you have an hour blocked off at 2 o'clock and you can be like, you know what? I'm going to deal with that at 2 o'clock today. I have that block in my calendar and it can give you the peace of mind to be able to work on it. So those are just a couple little tips that might help you deal with the unexpected things that kind of get in our way. Anyhow, to finish up here, today's episode, I think we've covered that salons are certainly not just competing on service quality, they're competing on visibility in today's world, right? And you might have heard this terminology, but we are in the attention economy, right? We're all vying for the attention of the consumer, and their attention is all over the place at all times. So one thing that's very clear is that your marketing success isn't built on occasional bursts of effort, it's built on consistency, right? Because consumers' attention is out there at all times. The salons that grow the most predictable businesses aren't necessarily the ones with the biggest budgets or the flashiest social medias. They're the ones who just show up consistently. Consistency builds trust. It keeps clients engaged, ensures that when someone needs the services that you offer, your salon is the one that they remember. You're the one that's on top of their mind. It makes sense that you can't do everything yourself and you shouldn't try to, right? If you need help with your marketing implementation, to have a system, to ensure consistency, we are here to help you, right? We offer simple and super affordable marketing services that help you grow. From websites to Google rankings and SEO, blogs, email newsletters, e-commerce, online booking, POS systems, client loyalty programs, social media, salon promotion planning, communication tools, artificial intelligence expertise and training. Honestly, we cover all of these. We are your industry resource for all of it. Please don't hesitate to reach out. That's what we are here for. You can see all of our resources on our website at salonsos.ca. And remember this as a takeaway from today. When salons have stronger, more consistent marketing, our entire industry gets stronger. And that's the scoop for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Salon Scoop podcast. This show is produced by Salon S.O.S, a digital marketing agency by industry professionals for industry professionals. If you want simple and affordable solutions for any of your salon marketing needs, such as websites, client loyalty, Google search rankings, social media, or more, come visit us at salonsos.ca or on Instagram at salon.s.o.s. If you want to hear more episodes like this and help us continue to bring the industry great content, it would mean so much to us if you would support us in one of the following ways. Either share this episode with one other industry professional and rate the show on Spotify or write us a quick review on Apple Music. We want to hear your feedback. If you have follow-up questions or ideas for future episodes, please reach out. DM us on Instagram at salonus.s.o.s or hit us up on our website again at salonsos.ca. Again, thanks so much for listening. Now go get your hustle on, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on our next episode.